All right, welcome everybody. Mark here from Mark Builds Bricks. We have a fantastic fantasy set to build. This is set number 85023. This is the Craft Brewery. It's got some really cool prints. It's got some functional movement as well. Three absolutely cool minifigures going into this one. So we're going to review this one as we normally do, stage by stage. So again, thank you very much, Pantasy. Greatly appreciate the set, and let's jump into the review. Like, comment, and subscribe, as we always ask you to do. Welcome. The two manuals that do come with the Craft Brewery Pantasy set. As you can see, we have book 1 and book 2 in the back here. Either way we place it, so you can actually see them. Both have a fantastic picture of the set on the front, set number in the bottom corner at this side, as you can see. But I don't know, Pantasy, if you can see, brewery is spelt wrong on the manual. Is B-R-E-W-A-R-Y. It's E-R-Y for brewery. The stickers, or the, sorry, not the stickers, but the printed pieces with the microbrewery on the actual set is actually spelt correctly, but both manuals, it is not spelt correctly. And in fact, you can actually see in the sticker that it's actually spelled, or brewery spelled correctly right here. So I'm not 100% sure if Pantasy is meant to spell it that way or not on the manuals, but that's just a heads up there, just to let you know. Inside, typical stuff that you get from Pantasy, how to use the little tool, extractor tool, which is right here. So it's slightly different than the original one that usually comes with this. So pretty interesting. It's got a nice little Pantasy logo on that as well. What else do we have in here? Basically, 1 to 6 is basically a first booklet, and then the rest of the build is the next booklet. It does come with a base plate. This is a big 32 by 32 base plate, and it's a typical base plate type. It's a thick plate versus a typical flat, thin Lego plate. But going through this, pretty straightforward going through. Nothing out of the ordinary. It is nicely looking at all the pictures that identify where the pieces go and all that. Be mindful, it does have some Technic, so just be patient if you're not used to building with Technic and stuff like that. But pretty much everything goes in nice and smoothly. There is one section where you open up a bag, but you finish that stage, but you have a ton of extra pieces. It's just because that bag was actually mislabeled. It is for the next stage after, just a heads up on that. So if you come across one of the sets of bags where you've got an extra bag that's labeled whatever number it is, and you've got a ton of pieces at the finish at that stage, don't freak out. It actually goes to the next stage. Right? So Technic pieces, printed goodness throughout the whole thing. I really love the transparent window in this. Second booklet, basically 7, 8, 9, and 10. I believe 9 has the most bags. I think it's 6 bags total, but basically each set of bags is hovering around 4 to 6 bags. So it's not typical 2, 3 bags, whatever, and 4 the most. It's like 4 to 6 bags each stage, basically. But as you can see, very clearly, easily to put together in the manual. It looks really good. I had absolutely no issues, and there's stud counts. Some of the colors are slightly different, but that's just because of the print. I did have, right here, I did have some print damage in the manual here, so I'm not sure if everybody got the same thing, but basically it looked like the ink or got smeared something, because there's no damage on this page, but we got a slight damage here, which is weird because it doesn't even line up to the actual page, but it lines up to here. So it looks like the page was like this at one point, and something sticky or smudged it or whatever. But other than that, it didn't really bother me going through it. Coming towards the end of the booklet is making all the minifigs. So they put the figs at the end of the instructions to build. You can do that right away. Each minifigure comes in its own bag, so it's pretty easy to figure out how to put the pieces together. Pretty much. And again, Mooning. Hopefully I'm saying that Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. There's that brand or IP that Pantasy is also doing as well. So nice Pantasy logos on the back of the book. There you have it. 2 manuals for this absolutely fantastic set. All right, so let's talk minifigures. Here are the 3 main minifigures that you do get with this Craft Brewery. They look fantastic. And again, it's got the new Funko Pop type head style with the heads a little larger, but a fantastic facial printing, as you can see. So it gives a lot of detail to everything. Again, all their pupils or their irises or the reflection in their eyeballs all point the same way on all the minifigures. I have not seen it go any other direction, so pretty interesting. They all come with the sit down extra feet, so you can actually put the bottom so they can actually sit. And again, if you're going to place them in the middle of a plate or something like that, just throw a little round stud in their butt. And this way you can actually place it pretty much anywhere, and the feet will fit nicely. On the chairs and on the stools on the set itself, there's a nice little round stud that you can actually sit them in place so you can have them sitting. But all in all, nice printing on the shirts. And also this one, it looks like he's got one in the middle. It looks like he's got a nice little hoodie on as well. And they look fantastic. Back, we got some printing on the back of them. One's got pockets. The other 2 have type of look like a belt that's on around their waist. And the one in the yellow here has more checkered type printing and also printing on the sleeves as well. But there you have it. Nice little bandana on this one. Some nice black hair. And of course, the hairpiece that comes on this gentleman right here looks really good. So those are the minifigures, the 3 of them that you do get with this set. They look really good, and I'll be happy to display them in their setting in the Craft Brewery set for sure. So here we have stage 1 completed of the Craft Brewery by Pantasy. It came with a nice big base plate, 32 by 32. Also interesting design on the base plate, by the way. Interesting. We do have gears, we do have some Technic pieces, and we do have a lot of system pieces put in place. Some nice tiling around the building. It has already been set up, as you can see. But we do have some Technic pieces in here with a nice gear system going through here, which goes under here, which comes across here to this gear. Also, we're probably going to have to set up something here to attach to this gear, which attaches to this gear, which gets more things to move. But it looks like this crank at this end here, this little black crank, we can turn it. So far, all the gears are working nice and smooth. I also made sure the gears are not too tight or anything like that, so it's nice and smooth. We got a couple of little garbage bags or sacks right here as well. Nothing else to identify of where things are going at this stage of the game, but then again, it's only the first stage. But we've got the basis of the mechanical features that are going to be happening in this set. So I am so looking forward to see what moves in this set. So this is going to be pretty cool. Let's keep going. All right, so we've completed stage 2 of this build of the Craft Brewery, and we have more Technic and gears put in place. This whole section right here is the bulk of the build for stage 2. We get a nice little printed Pantasy logo here on this rounded part as well. These barrels are all in place. We have some glass bottles on this side, but when we turn our little crank here, everything seems to be moving quite nicely. So the barrels turn. We do need to do it at a certain speed. If you do it too fast, you will jam up the bottles, basically. But all in all, that is the bulk of this part of the stage of the build, is getting all this in place. It is actually fairly easy. It is not too complicated getting the gears and everything lined up and everything. So it's quite an easy to an intermediate level Technic section here. So you should be able to do it. Just have some patience and just make sure the gears are not too tight, and you should be good to go. All right, so we've completed stage 3 of this build, and it's more structure based of getting things done. So building up this wall sections in here, tying in this section as well as tying this main brace in, so it makes sure everything is all nice and snug as well. We have a nice little countertop here with an automatic drink dispenser coming in from the pipes right here. We have a nice little opening, as you can see here, which we'll figure out what that is. And we have another bag on the windowsill, which there's a couple of bags underneath that windowsill. We have our crank. This actually moves everything in the set, but we basically build up the wall. We have some nice masonry mixed in with some system bricks throughout this to give some nice texture on the walls. And on this side, we have a nice little kiln or furnace or something like that, because we open up the little front here. we have two loose pieces of flames inside there to simulate that this is some type of flamed vat of some sort. But so it's basically structuring up this whole section is what we basically are building up. So getting the wall structures in place, looking good, and we are getting close to almost a finished ground floor. So another stage completed, stage 4, that is. More walls. We've got more walls going up and more structure in place, plus a couple of cool little things happening as well. So definitely, that I don't know if this is the 100% the front, but we've got the front of it. We get nice, again, the Pantasy logo right here. Got some walls built up, a nice little window frame around this little window as well. Coming to this side, we have a really cool glass structure. There is a faint also print across the top here to give it some a little detail and stuff like that. So that is pretty nice. But the transparent pieces here are very nice and clear, really clear. I really like that. We have a nice little window opening, again, with a couple of bags on the window, on the frame there that goes up and down. We got a nice little textured shingled roofing to protect this area as well, which is pretty cool. And then we have, this looks kind of bare at the moment, but we know we might have something going here. We do have some hinges. We do have this opening up now, so which gives us a nice view inside the ground floor in the back. So that is really cool. And I like that they have this nice little thick masonry block area. It looks like the structure of the building, but you can actually use this to actually open and close, which is pretty cool. Coming to this side, nothing too much added at this stage on this side of the game, other than we got some plating and we got the stairs in place on this side as well. Still functional. If I turn the crank, everything still moves. Really cool. The bottles inside this glass structure actually turn, and so everything's working nicely. And we got to keep going. This is going together really smoothly, by the way. Pantasy, this is a really cool set so far. Absolutely enjoying this one. All right, another stage completed, and it's getting there. We actually built in some more Technic into this stage, which is basically right here at the top where you see the crates with the bottles in it. This is a moving conveyor belt, so everything is tied into the one crank arm located on this side. So if we do turn this, as you can see, it does go, and it slowly goes underneath. Luckily, the studs are actually, the clutch is very good on the crates and stuff like that, because it's just being held on by round 1x1s that are double-sided. So the studs are going into the tread as well. The studs are going into the crates itself. So 2 studs per crate, and we got 6 crates going around. Now, with the Technic functionality in this, you are losing out with some of the cool details that you could have put into that area, just because you have to make room for the moving pieces and stuff like that. So honestly, I think the moving pieces are really cool. There is one fragile part of the moving pieces. Now, we do have this nice little grass structure on this side with the bottles. There is a little pin that turns around, and it occasionally will get hung up on the little the little bars that go down for it to turn this piece around, because if you spin it a little too fast, it will actually jam. And if it gets jammed up, just reverse slowly so it turns the bottle at least once, and then go back slowly forward, and it should turn and kick back in with no problems, without having to worry about anything bending or popping out of shape or anything like that. But that is the only pet peeve of this at the moment, is that getting jammed if you turn things a little too quickly. Other than that, it is starting to look good. It's a little dull in the front. We're going to hopefully dress this up in the next stages of the bags going forward. Similar, nothing much done on the rest of this side, and as well the wall opens up back here as we showed earlier, but the bulk of this stage was right here, building out all this Technic and framing this up to hold it all in place. Another stage done, and we are completed the first book of the 2-book manuals for this build. So stage 6 completed. We'll be jumping into stage 7 and on to complete the build in the second book. But basically, we finished off the rest of the build going up with structure-wise, as well as this really cool transparent window awning type of like an atrium type thing, so you can see the conveyor belt of all the bottles and the crates going by and stuff like that. So very transparent. This is super clear to the point where you can leave wicked fingerprints on it. So really cool. And I'm glad that these pieces came in a separate bag so they avoid scratching and stuff. So really cool. The other cool thing is we finished off the giant glass bottle basically with a really cool bottle cap on the top, as you can see. So that finishes off where the bottles actually turn in this area when you're turning the crank and stuff. But really cool. You got a nice little bottle feature on the side of the building, so it really rounds out that it is a craft brewery. On this side, we finished off some masonry details going up this side. My guess is maybe a window here that we got to put in next. But that was the bulk of that stage of covering everything up. So a lot of the technical pieces that are actually the gears and everything, they're going to be completely hidden inside the building, and just some turning gears on the outside when you actually turn the crank, that these gears will actually turn, as you can see. So pretty cool on that. So there you have it. Let's start the second manual, second half of this build, and let's see what else we complete. So stage 7 completed. We are finishing up the tower part of this craft brewery building. This is basically, this whole section is what we finished building up. Interesting little mini build basically of this for this the top part, to get all the nice curve and the detail in there, which looks absolutely great. There is a flag on the top. Just stick that back on, but it's looking good. We also have our extra windows in on each side here. Basically, it's a repeat build. You build one, you duplicate it, and you slide it into each slot area on there. And then you build up this nice little brown layer underneath, and then you basically build the dome and you just pop it on. Pretty straightforward and very easy to stick in place. But this is a lot of repetitive building for this section here, and a lot of small pieces, so it's a lot of little wiggle and all that, but it's good, it's in place. But that's basically it for this stage of the build, is this whole section so far. So it's looking good. We're almost there. I believe we've got 3 more stages to do, and we should be good. We have stage 8 completed of this build. We're going to keep it zoomed in at this level just because all the build is basically down in this lower end of this building. But basically, we start in the front. As you can see now, we do have another fantastic big printed craft beer brewery sign. As well, we have a beer menu and printed pieces right here. So this is a small little mini build. You stick it onto the wall, and then you do the back part of this sign build, and then you put the sign on and you just pin it in place. So that's how it's holding to the wall, basically, on that side. Also, we do build this nice little archway on this side of the building. As you can see where my finger is, we have a nice little beer cup with some foam, as well as a nice little archway built on top there. And we do have another printed, a fantastic piece there. Again, another small mini build, and you just plop it into place, basically. So you're just adding on to the building itself. It's not really built into the building, but you're just attaching it to the building that way. So we're going to come to this side of the building. Now we've dressed up this doorway on the side. So we gave it an interesting, nice little burgundy red roof. We give it a little bit of a pop and stuff like that, and a nice little decoration of the two-tone coloring with the green door. So it looks fantastic. And also we built up these 2 boxes up on this level of the deck as well. So that whole, from that side forgot the ladder, my mistake. We did build a small little ladder as well here on the back. But basically from this corner all the way around, coming back around here to the front, and then up to this sign as well. That is the bulk of that stage of the build. All right, stage 9 completed, and as you can see, this is getting close to be done. Look at all the details. It's starting to look really good. The bulk of this stage was actually in the back, in this corner here. Basically building out this section here. As you can see, we now have 2 doors or 2 walls that actually open up, so it does split open, so it gives you access to see the 2nd and 3rd floor, and some of the little details that are also in there, which we do have a little chair, we do have a cup and a table. It looks like a gramophone with a record on there as well. What else is in that one? Just, it's more of a sitting area, and then it goes down to the stairwell to the next floor. The next floor has an interesting interesting little typewriter and stuff like that. So pretty cool. But also we do have a wicked angled skylight here as well, which goes right into the crates. So it's basically building this little chunk here basically and then popping it in place. So that is the bulk of that stage of the build. And I really do like these transparent windows. Pantasy, you outdid yourself. You kept these in a separate bag so no scratches or anything. These are super clear to the point where I actually have to clean off the fingerprints because you can actually see the fingerprints very quickly. So again, that is the bulk of the stage, which is basically the back of the building, this section, getting the 2 floors in place. So we've completed the Pantasy Craft Brewery. Looks absolutely fantastic. Look at all that detail on the front of that building and going towards the side of the building with the bottle on the transparent bottle on the side. As we rotated it around, we got so much happening. Yes, we have a nice little plain area right here, but it actually opens right up. So you can actually do this. And now you can see inside the building itself. So how cool is that? Little details to the 2nd floor and 3rd floor, and a little bit of detail on the bottom floor. During the video montage at the end of the video, we'll send a camera right inside so you can see. That is how it closes up. It gives a nice detail straight line with the chimney, which is really cool. And we'll continue this way. We have a nice little skylight happening in the back here, which gives nice natural light into the building on that. We got a couple of pipes going into these vats with some nice printing on the vats itself. We do have a nice little window with a bag in there. Of course, we have this nice little doorway. I love the burgundy on this. It really makes it pop with the little roof of the burgundy itself. Some nice little masonry design work on here. Of course, we have the very top dome roof part with a little flag on the top. We do have a nice printed sign with a little beer mug with a frosty on that. Looks good. Some gears in the front, as you can see. We have some really good transparent window here to see the conveyor belt where all the bottles in the crates going by. Nice printing, as you can see. We have some gears, some more printing down at this end. We have a nice little sitting area on this side at the bottom, and of course we have the barrels also that rotate when everything rotates. Now inside this the glass bottle here, there are bottles that go around on a conveyor as well, but this is the tricky part here. There is a knob on this side of the building right here, this little black knob. We give that a twirl. I'm going to keep it right there, but if we give that a twirl, as you can see, the barrels all move. You can't see it very well, but there is the bottles moving in this almost every 2 rotations, 3 rotations, and then one of these bottles will actually move. And also you can just see in the conveyor belt there, the crates of the bottles going down the ramp and stuff like that. So really cool. Now, this is the fragile part. So I'm turning this at a decent pace. If you start turning this a little too quickly, the little part that actually hits the little sticks at the bottom of the bottles to make the bottles turn, it will jam up if you turn it too quickly, because you're just not going to get the rotation nicely. So bear that in mind when you are turning this to keep it at a medium pace type scenario, low to medium, and you shouldn't get anything jammed up in any way, shape, or form. Now, the building absolutely looks fantastic, as I said before. We went through this by stage in this video, so you got to see all the cool things that were built. Now, this has a fair bit about technique inside of this build to make everything turn with that one little knob on that side, which I think is fantastic. I really like the when I see gears, I like to see stuff move, and I like that they built it all into one area to do everything. By doing this, we also lose some detail areas where you can display some little mini builds and stuff like that in the factory inside and stuff like that, because it has to make room for all that technic to be sitting in place. So that's why in the back part, you only see a very small detail on the 2nd and 3rd floor right here, and a little bit of detail on the ground floor itself. But really, a lot of the building is taken up by the technic that sits basically right under this sign. So right in this area is where all the Technic is basically sitting in there. But all in all, I love the glass bottle on the side with the bottle cap. That looks fantastic. We have a nice little roof and a little opening here, doorway as well, that throw sacks in and out as well. Fantastic looking. It looks absolutely great. We have to build the motorcycle restaurant still, and we're going to put it all together so you can see everything in a compare video. But all in all, I do recommend this. I think it's still a fantastic modular building, even though you don't really want to take it apart to show in the inside. And the other thing, it does have a fair amount of Technic built in there. So for people that don't like Technic, you might be a little iffy on if they wanted to get this one. Definitely, I say get it. It looks fantastic. Once you build it, you probably won't be playing with it as much. You'll probably be displaying it more. So it's going to display fantastic, as you can see. To everybody that are watching the video, thank you very much for watching this video. As always, comment and subscribe. It really helps out this channel. Share out the video as much as you wish. Always great to see new viewers coming to the channel and saying hi in the comments and all that type of stuff. Become a channel member if you want early access to all the videos and some build videos that are specific to members. Plus, you get sneak peek of all the builds that I'm doing at the different stages with photos that we put up in the community area. Speaking of the community area on the channel, if you're on a mobile device, you can actually share your photos of your builds on my community channel on the YouTube channel as well. So feel free to let me see what you've been building and leave a comment on that picture that you put up there so we could all make comments and share and all that. So again, thank you very much for watching, and we have a ton more Pantasy stuff coming to this channel, so stay tuned.